What's up, guys? Hex pays you on average 38%, but where does the yield come from? The yield comes from inflation. Since the yield comes from inflation, doesn't that mean it's bad for the price? Isn't that going to drive the price down because they're inflating the supply? So inflation is not the only variable that determines the valuation of a cryptocurrency, regular currency, or any other asset for that matter. So what determines valuation? It's the supply and demand. So if there's more money on the buy side and less money on the sell side, then the price will go up. If there's more money on the sell side and less money on the buy side, the price will go down. So not all inflation is created equal. And Richard Hart talks about this all the time. In the case of Bitcoin, where does the inflation go? It goes to the miners. When were the biggest gains in Bitcoin to be had? During the time of its highest inflation. Now, why is that? Back in its early days, you were able to earn 50 Bitcoin for mining a block using your CPU or GPU. Is there any expenses? Is there any overhead for mining Bitcoin on your laptop? No. So if there was no overhead, you were less likely to sell it. You didn't have to pay for anything. What happens when you don't sell it? There's less supply and more demand. The price goes up. Today, in 2022, can you mine Bitcoin on your laptop? Absolutely not. You need expensive computers that consume astronomical amounts of electricity. You also need a warehouse to store these computers. You need employees to maintain the warehouse. You also need accountants for filing your taxes. And what do these all have in common? They cost money. It's called overhead. How are you going to get that money? You're going to have to sell the Bitcoin that you mine. What happens when you sell your Bitcoin? The price shoots down, which is why Bitcoin goes up in price every 4 years, because the amount of selling pressure from the miners is coded to get cut in half. What about Hex? Where does the inflation go in Hex? Inflation goes to the stakers. Do you need a giant rack of ASIC computers in order to earn your interest staking Hex? No. Do you need a warehouse to store your T-shares? No. Do you need employees to maintain your warehouse and your T-shares? No. The overhead for earning the inflation in Hex is zero. What happens when you don't have overhead? You don't sell as much. What happens when you don't sell? Price goes up. What happens when the price goes up? More people want to buy. What happens when more people want to buy? The price goes up. And that's why Hex was able to do a 10,000x in under 2 years. So to recap, is inflation bad for the price? In Bitcoin, it goes to the people that sell, so it's bad. In Hex, it goes to the people that do not sell, so it's good. If you like what I have to say, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Show me that what I'm doing is meaningful. I'm trying to create videos as much as possible, and the more engagement I see, the more likely I am to keep this content coming. Thank you.